There's this guy named...
I always feel like I've already lost all hope in humanity when there's really horrific events happen. But then I'll go around and then I'll, like, say, for example, actually, literally today, this morning, I was dropping JoJo off and there was a husky in the middle of the street. And so I dropped her off. I parked. I followed the husky up to the adjacent building. Me and this lady, we called the animal control. We got it, we got it all. And it was just like, it was a great moment of like, me and two other people coming together and helping this dog that clearly got out and stuff. And it just like made me feel good about people and humanity. And then I think about shit like this again and I'm like, fuck. Like, what if they brought the van?
What if they brought that dog? What if they took that dog in the back of a van and just kicked it to death?
They just fucking.
What if some guy was like, "Oh, thanks, you found my dog," and he picks it up at the belly and it takes a huge bite out of it.
He just
takes a huge bite out of it, and
do you guys ever
the
see
dog
that video?
Doesn't make noise. It just starts crying. It just starts crying.
Did you guys ever see that video
dying.
of that woman who threw her dog at someone?
Yeah.
No.
She was like super high on drugs.
She was like fucking high on crack and cocaine and methamphetamine or like every single thing at once, and she just threw her dog at some guy. Being
like, "Yo, get away from me, kid!"
Yeah, some black guy. He's like, "Hey, yo!" And I think that guy has the dog now. I think he's
kept
just
the dog.
Raising that dog. Yeah, he kept the dog, which is hilarious. It's a hilarious way to get a dog.
Hell yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm actually gonna check up on that husky.
Answering that question, how'd you get this? When'd you get this dog? It's like, some drug addict literally threw this dog at me. So now I have it.
And that dog's
what made it funny? What made it funny? This is not funny, but it is funny at the same time. When she's like on a swing the dog at him, the dog is just suspended in the air, just dangling, and there's this little puppy just dangling, and it's just like I don't know why I'm here. I was created to make people happy. I don't want to do this.
There's something about people who
just like, I'm taking this dog now.
People who people who just treat animals like that really piss me off. I don't know.
Oh like, yeah, I think they should beat up a person. Be dead.
You could beat up. I could watch videos of people beating each other up all day. Like all day, I can watch those videos of people fighting each other on the train tracks or whatever. And that's fine, but like I don't know, man. You hit a dog and it really enrages me.
Oh, it's on, man. It's one of those things. That's when I've seen humans on the same street that JoJo works on. She works in a shady neighborhood in a hospital. I've seen it in horrific conditions. I see a dog that's a little confused. And I immediately rush and spring into action. That is the difference between, like, I am not helping the confused homeless person that I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. You're full of stink. I'm not going to touch you. But the dog, it's disheveled. It has looks like it has paint on it or something. The dog has like purple paint on it somehow. I don't know where it had a scarf and a collar that looks like it had been torn a little bit. So maybe it had a tag on it before. And I'm like, I have shit to do, but I'm going to stay with this dog till we get this sorted out. I ain't doing that for a person unless they're like shot or something. Like if I see someone who's like bleeding, then maybe I'll be like, oh fuck, what can I do? Beyond that, if you're just like a human that passed out, I might not even stop. I might just walk over them and be like, well, I'm sure they'll be fine. It's kind of fucked up, but hey, what do you... Like,
yeah. What are you gonna do?
As a kid, I saw a dude pass out in the middle of the street in L.A. in South Central, and dudes. I thought they were gonna help him up. Instead, they just robbed him. they just went in his pockets and then they left.
That's Californians, though. Californians, yeah. New Yorkers are like this, right? Don't inconvenience me, and I won't fuck with you. But there's always like we have a weird nature of like. We'll curse at you. We'll attack each other. When someone gets hurt, they'll care. Like I know people that were like serious drug dealers. Like when a car skirts, they duck down, they grab their hip. You know what they're about to do. Like shit like that. But then when my grandmother would be coming home with the fucking groceries, they would drop what they were doing and they would help my grandmother with the groceries up the stairs. Or when I was little crossing the street, they would cross the street with me. And I think that's a New York culture thing, because in Cali, I never hear shit like that happen. Like, I know people that have, robbed other homies' parents over here. And I'm just like, what the fuck is
they treat
wrong
old
with
people.
you guys?
They treat old people specifically really well in New York. I've just noticed. I don't know what
because
that is.
It's like the neighborhood, you know. Like I've known
but there's
Mrs.
also like
J
if you're
since
just
I
a
was
normal
kid,
person though,
you know.
But if you're just a normal person, like if it's just you, Kingston, like they're not helping you. And if they do help you, they'll like make fun of you. Probably they'll be like,
no,
that's
like, not exactly true.
Yeah, they will.
It depends on where you are. It depends on where you are. It depends if you know anybody.
If you like trip on the ground, and you have a hard time getting up, somebody will pick you up and they'll be like, "The fuck you thinking, idiot?" Or like, "What the fuck you doing?"
No, they're like, "Are you fucking okay? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you out here like this? You fucking, you need help
like
getting home?"
harass
And like,
you.
they'll be like, shit like that.
They'll help you while they harass you. It's fucking fat. I've seen it happen many
pay for a cab to get you to your house, and they'll be insulting you the whole time. You're like, "Yo, I'm having an episode."
Oh my god! Do you remember that story from like a couple? Like I think it was like maybe like exactly a month ago. Probably no longer than that. Of that guy who came to New York and he made a TikTok about how like he ordered a scoop bagel. Did you see this?
No. I heard about the scoop bagel.
What the fuck is the scoop bagel?
Exactly. So a scoop bagel is a bagel, but they scoop all of the bagel, the bread out of it. So it's just the shell of the bagel, and then you get it filled with like I don't know, cream cheese or something else. Like I don't know. I don't get it. I've never had one. It's definitely not a New York thing. I think it's more like a West Coast or like everywhere else thing. I've never experienced that in New York ever. But so this guy ordered a scoop bagel, and the guy told him, "Get the fuck out of here. We don't do that." Like, what are you talking about? We're not going to scoop your bagel out. And he made a TikTok about it. He was like, it was something about like, never order a scoop bagel in New York. I just tried, and they said, "Get the fuck out of here." And it went so viral that somebody literally got in touch with him, and somebody in New York got in touch with him, and he said, "Listen, I will buy you a first-class flight back to wherever you came from if you get the fuck out of here." And he did it. Like, he actually did it. Like, the dude got a free first-class flight out of New York because they didn't want him there so bad that they were willing to put him in an actual luxurious exile to get him out of there. It's like, don't you dare order a scoop bagel in my city, you freak. Get the fuck out of here. Here's a first-class flight home. I love that. That is hilarious to me because that is like, yeah, I'll take real good care of you as I exile you to the far reaches of this fucking country.
That is awesome.
That was so fucking funny.
That's awesome.
New York is such a crazy place, dude. Like I've lived there. Like that was like where I fought, because I don't consider myself exactly the most New York person anymore. Because I left New York, I left the city at like 13, and then I left New York State like 7 years ago. And the amount it changes every time I go back is so weird. But it's the most perplexing. It's the most like, everyone's such an asshole, but at the same time, everyone is so, there's like this weird kindredness that I've never seen anywhere else. Like never even close.